So after looking at that flipbook, and if we compare the smoke here to the actual helicopter, you can see there's kind of way too puffed up. So the problem there is the particle scale. We need to bring that down a whole lot. So let's go down to 1, maybe lower still, 0.1. There we go. So much more intricate, maybe up a little bit to 5. Okay, and then I don't want to use this the density as a coverage attribute, right? So the coverage is just how the how dense the values are. If you see that, I can turn it up or down. Let's just set that to 2, so it's nice and dense. So that looks much better. I'm also going to create a collider for this. Let me just go back to the first frame so we don't simulate since we're visualizing this. So let's create another geo. Oops, another geometry node there. Okay, let's call this collider. Jump inside, and then we'll object merge in the helicopter. So it will be heli import out, grab that, then drop a collision. Oops. Collision source, that's the one. Okay, and then we'll be generating a volume with this. So I'm going to go to 0.05. So let's see what that looks like. Drop a null for the VDB. There we go, that looks good enough for me. Let's call this out VDB. And then on the other side, okay, we'll call this out polygons, right? And let's just double check what attributes we got here. We got velocity. Let's go forward. Yeah, we got a velocity attribute on there, which will be calculated from here. Let's just take a look at that first. So if we turn that on there. See, maybe we need to convert it to normal polygons. There we go. So we're seeing the velocity there now, and it's very long. Let's see, maybe let's turn that off and do our own trail. Okay, and compute velocity with this. There we go, that looks better to me. Great. And then let's turn off that visualizer. Go back in here. And static object. Okay. Sub path, so that will be, let's see, collider, out poly. And then just as usual, not surface, sorry. In volume, we grab volume sample, and then come down, and the proxy volume will be the VDB that we generated ourselves. It's CDB there. I wonder if we can just change it here. I don't think that will work actually. We'll have to go back here. Just change that. There we go. Great, and we'll merge this in. And before I forget, let me just swap those around. Come in here and make sure we check use deforming geometry. The rest of this should be fine. Maybe, well, we can see the helicopter now, which is good. Let's turn that off. Let's just make sure we can see the collision geometry. That looks perfect. Turn that off. Yeah, we can leave this on. Why not? Oh yeah, one more thing I want to do is multiply the velocity coming in, so we've got a bit more push, that initial push of the velocity, and also the curl noise. If you remember, we added a curl noise to it as well. So let's do a few frames of this, see how that looks, and then there's one more thing I want to add to this. Let's go in full screen, get better lighting. Let's go into smooth shaded, just run. I probably won't do, again, you know, the whole thing. Just see how that looks. Just one thing I forgot to do here. So as we've got this pre-roll, you notice there, we've got this hold first frame turned on in the collision source. So just turn that off and that should be fine now. It should calculate. There we go. So we got the animation, you know, into the minus numbers as well. So I'll leave that turned off. And back in here, let's reset the simulation. There we go. And try that again. There we go. I've just stopped that at 28 frames. So we're getting closer, still not there yet. I know the helicopter's not moving there, but that's just a visualization thing. I did check, and you know, it is, the collider is moving through with the simulation, but it's looking better now. You know, we don't have any kind of stepping going on. The P scale, changing the P scale definitely had a big effect. So let's continue working on that. Maybe the visualization needs some work on it as well, just so we can see the lower density areas. But that's, you know, we're going in the right direction.